Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations unto my fellow Akim, the laborers who do this work in truth and sincerity on the highways and byways, as we're ordered to. You know, around the four corners of the earth, risking our lives and our freedom to do so, to bring forth the truth and the gospel. All right, to the confusion of faith that are joined unto our ranks, and to the all of the hopeful elect, to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. All right, the man on the screen needs no introduction. The whole world knows who he is. That's Pastor T.D. Jakes, who in this video admits that he's that his race, his people are connected to the Jews. And yes, the Nigerians are indeed of the Hebrew stock. See if I have the book from Babylon to Timbuktu behind me. I do believe that I have it. I may have borrowed it out and not gotten it back. Oh, I do. Salakia. You know, this was kind of not pre-planned. I had scriptures to bring out definitely, but this I didn't know I was going to say. This is from the book From Babylon to Timbuktu by the scholar Rudolph R. Windsor. And it's a history of the ancient black races, including the black Hebrews. But there's no such thing as black Hebrews. It's just Hebrew Israelites, all right? Because truth of the matter is, no one is black and no one is white. Both the men on the screen are different. Well, no, one's an Edomite, Salakia. But what you see is a brown man, all right? Because it looks like his jacket is black, but his skin is brown. And you see a red man. It's kind of pinkish red, all right? It's translucent because his blood shows forth through his skin. As the scripture says in Genesis, the 25th chapter, 25 and 25, and the first came out red. And then all their children came out that way. And that child that was born was Esau, son of Jacob. Salakia, son of Isaac. His twin brother Jacob came out brown. So, in a sense, these two could represent Jacob and Esau. All right? So let's get that out the way first. This is not a color thing. This is a seed thing. All right? It's all about the seed. And sometimes if your seed gets scattered, you know, if your son gets scattered and he makes children in a foreign land with the foreign people, your seed could come out looking like those people down the line. And that is what we refer to as the confusion of faith. That's what the Bible refers to as the confusion of faith. And there's a clear example of it in Ezra, the 7th chapter, like verses the 9th chapter, like verses 1 through like 7. It gives a clear-cut example, but that's not the subject matter. The subject matter is that T.D. Jakes has now stepped up to the plate, and the truth of the scriptures is coming out, and they're sending in, as my brother Uriah said, the heavyweights now. All right, but the heavyweights are just going to get knocked out by the truth. All right, because they're coming against people who are superior in the scriptures, who have the truth in the gospel, man. And quite frankly, they don't have precepts to align with the things that they teach. All T.D. Jakes did was get rich teaching colonial plantation Christianity. All right, the same Christianity that subjugated his people and enslaved his people. And like I said, he admits that he's a Jew in this clip, that he knows his people go back to the Jews. So this is back in this book on page 84. It reads, all right, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1,000 Jews fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jew slaves. All right. Then they quoted the scripture right here, Deuteronomy 28:68, which only the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans fit. All right. And it reads, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that's exactly what happened. And Christianity came in the face of one of those other gods. All right, that's page 84 of the book From Babylon to Timbuktu by the scholar Rudolph Windsor. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out the way, let's play this short clip.
Work you up under the table.
Where does that come from?
My father. My father, absolutely. My father is rigged. Let me tell you, this chair is about to break. My father's sitting here, and my mother is sitting here, and they're fighting for the mic from moment to moment. My grandmother talks to you every now and then. All of my ancestors are sitting on this table all the way back to Nigeria. All of them. My ancestors were Igbos from Nigeria, and Igbos are called black Jews, that they're industrious.
The matter of fact, the very word Igbo means Hebrew. It was just broken Hebrew. All right, it means the word Igbo means Hebrew. All right, exactly what it means. And many of the slaves that came to the Americas were Igbo.
That they go after things, that they're hard-working people. So all the way back in my DNA, we were self-sufficient. And all of them.
Okay, what's going on now? Esau's playing with it. Wow, that was none but Satan. Okay, let's try that again.
Called black Jews, that they're industrious, that they go after things, that they're hard-working people. So all the way back in my DNA, we were self-sufficient. And all of them.
It cut, wow. Because it says that they went back to Israel, and it actually cut it short.
Right. Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh.
Wow, and then the computer's like freaking out too.
You up under the table.
Where does that come from?
My father. My father, absolutely. My father is rigged. Let me tell you, this chair is about to break.
So Esau, wow, I'm kind of tripping here right now. What he did was he went in there and he filtered this video and took out the part where it says that his people go back to the Jews, that the Igbo go back to the Jews. So let's click back, and let's see if we can get it on the longer one. You know, this is unexpected. This was done raw, so I'm going to leave it raw. Okay?
In which we live, mind trying.
So I'm just going to try to go through this,
Israel,
see if I can find
Ham seed, or you were a Gentile.
All right. Okay, that was at his church.
Let me tell you, this chair is about to break.
Okay.
My father's sitting here, and my mother is sitting here, and they're fighting for the mic from moment to moment. My grandmother talks to you every now and then. All of my ancestors are sitting on this table all the way back to Nigeria. All of them. My ancestors were Igbos from Nigeria, and Igbos are called black Jews. That they're.
There it is. That's exact. And so let me read it again. From Babylon to Timbuktu. All right. Page 84. I'll even put it up to the camera to see if I can get it to focus. All right. And it reads, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter during a period of military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were, let's see if I can get it to focus, Salakia. There we go. Were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. So it was just Israelites. All right. Black is just the word being used in to describe dark skin. All right, because like I said, you can clearly see on the screen that his skin is brown. The side, the backdrops here on the side, that's black. This is brown. Black, brown. So they refer to a particular people who are not black, but are brown as black. So you have to look up the word black, and then you understand why they do that. Because it also says in the curses that you will become a byword. You'll be called by something. Everything except what you are. So let's go to the book of Luke. So I'm just, I should have been to this point 5-6 minutes ago. But I wasn't expecting all that to happen. I just decided to let it go instead of stopping it. All right, because that video played very clearly prior to me starting this video. And all of a sudden it went haywire. It cut off before he said that the Igbo were called black Jews, matching up with history. All right, and this is a type of history which was omitted from the history books. And also they don't teach this stuff in the seminary schools where he went to. Okay, but as I was taught, in order to tell a lie, you have to know the truth. All right, so this is in the book of Luke, and I'm going to start at verse 68. All right, because once you understand, you can't be a spiritual Israelite. It is according to the flesh. It is according to the seed, and that's the lie that they tell in Christianity. They don't break down the fact that often when it's talking about the Greeks, it's talking about Jews who were Hellenist. And when you look up the word Hellenist, it tells you that was a Greek-speaking Jew, or the Hellenista, who were Jews who made Greek their language or followed their customs. All right, and then you had the Greek who was an actual heathen or an Edomite. Same thing with Gentiles. Okay, they could have easily put Israelite or Israelite foreigner in those in those places when it's because it gives you clear accounts when Israel became strangers, so they weren't called Israelites anymore, and they don't give you that distinction. So they try to universalize the word, but the word is not universal. And as we read it with those very important details that you need to look up for yourself. All right, I'm going to read one just to prove it out of a dictionary Bible that's behind me. But let me continue with this scripture. Acts 1:68, and it says, "Blessed be Yahweh, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people." That's a personal pronoun. All right. "And have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David." So David was an Israelite of the house of Judah. So it had nothing to do with the other nations and the other races. All right. It says, "As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets." All the prophets were Israelites. All right. It tells you right here in the book of 2nd Ezra, in the Apocrypha, which is a part of the Bible and has always been, which the Bible Destruction Group Christians conveniently moved because it revealed too much information. All right, which actually comes against Christianity, or Christianity goes against the Bible, rather I'd say. All right, but this is 2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 39. It says, and for anyone who wants to discredit the Apocrypha, okay, John McCain just died, and at his funeral they read from the Apocrypha. They read from Wisdom of Solomon in 3rd chapter. Every sitting president swears in on the King James 1611 Bible with the Apocrypha in it. Point blank, period. In 1983, Ronald Reagan declared Proclamation 5018, all right, the year of the Bible, 1983, and that the King James 1611 Bible was the true law of the land. So you can't discredit the Apocrypha. As a matter of fact, I think I have an image of that somewhere. If I find it, I'll definitely share it, put it in front of the camera. But that's Proclamation 5018, Year of the Bible, with Mr. Ronald Reagan, when they declared the King James Bible the true. Found it. All right, there it is. 1983. Proclamation, Year of the Bible, 1983, and it was Proclamation 5018, and it was a 1611. All right, the King James Bible was 1611 Bible. So all presidents swearing on the 1611. All right, so all of a sudden, you know, you got these churches that removed the Apocrypha out, and this is what the Apocrypha looks like solo. All right, it even says authorized King James Version, and it was printed at Cambridge. So I guess Cambridge is not. Now you got lots of people who have degrees and things of that nature from Cambridge. All right. So let's get back to the scriptures. I just wanted to solidify that. All right, but going back to the Apocrypha, and he said the prophets in where was I? Yeah, this is book of First Ezra. I started verse first chapter, verse 37. I take witness to the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and they that have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the things that I say. This means the things that are written in the book, because it tells you that that Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, comes in the volume of the book, or some of them refer to him as Yeshua. There's no use in Hebrew. That's the corrupted Yiddish influenced version of Hebrew that the Israelis who are Edomites speak. Okay, and it says, and now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east. All right, and we just read historically how the Israelites that came from the east fled into Africa. They also fled into Europe and other places too. All right, but millions of them did flee into Africa, and those were the ones that ended up getting sold by other dark people. The dark Africans that were in Africa were selling dark Hebrews, not other Africans. That's the lie. They try to connect you and call you an African. So that very important detail is left out of the history lessons and biblical history when it's being taught in seminary schools and in churches today. All right. It's and so, you know, that's the big thing. And this is what Hebrew Israelites are all about. What you're hearing is just telling the truth about what's in the Bible. All right. Verse 39, whom I give you for leaders, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. All right. Because that's how it came down. And then to all the prophets who came out of the loins of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Obadiah, Jonas, Nahum, Habakkuk, what's this? Zachary, Agaz, and Malachi. All right, and some of these are written in Greek, so you know I'm not maybe pronouncing them right, but you got Zacharias, Zephaniah. All right, those were your prophets, man. All right, and what one thing were all the prophets? All the prophets were Israelites. There were not any Edomite prophets. All the prophets came out of the loins of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So let's go back to Luke, because that's what I'm focusing on right now. Because this may be a part two. You know, because this is a lot of information to cover, but trying to still keep it simple at the same time. Back to Luke, the first chapter, and I go back to verse 70, and it said, and he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. So wait a minute, how were they there when the world began, but then there to write the books that they see? That goes into another lesson that they don't even teach, because the first spirits and the first people created were the Israelites. So before they were even the Israelites, they were there in the beginning. All right? So the